Good afternoon. It is Tuesday, March 15th, 2022 at 3 p.m. and I would like to call to order the monthly meeting of the Norwalk Fire Commission. We have a quorum with Commissioner DeStrouge and Mayor Rilling. And the first item on the agenda, other than that, is acceptance of the minutes of the regular meeting on February 15th, 2022. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Commissioner DeStrouge moves. Are there any corrections or deletions, additions?
I have two, Mayor.
Okay,
Just on the first page under staff, it should be Lieutenant Brown, not firefighter Brown. Then on page 4, they also address him as firefighter, should be Lieutenant Brown under local 830 report.
okay, let me,
Good catch. Thank you.
And that's it.
okay. So all in favor of the minutes as corrected?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda. There are no action items. And so next item that is here are the fire chief's report. Chief?
Okay, so we are obviously through the month of February, and which is 8 months completed for this year's budget, which should be 66%. So we are, in one respect, we're doing a little bit better than 66%, but I'll go over that in a minute. Just want to call your attention to the platoon budget report, which has all the months and all the different expense codes and the salary expenses and overtime expenses.
Mhm.
We have 4 months left, March, April, May, and June. And if you try to extrapolate out, which we've done, we should be relatively close to meeting these goals of the amount of money that we have already. So I'm hoping that we'll be able to get through these next 4 months. And you'll see the overtime expenses are starting to come down a little bit like we thought they would.
Yep,
So we're hoping that we're going to be able to meet our goal, which is $1,329,000 left for the next 4 months. Just wanted to note again that the sick time numbers are actually better than last year by quite a bit for this month of February. We were 118 last year. And this year we're only at 34.
nice.
Big improvement on the sick time. Just want you to know that Chief Conti and myself are keeping a close eye on people taking sick time and how many days, et cetera. So we're making it known that we're keeping an eye on things.
Right.
The other thing I just wanted to mention is in the firefighting account, the overtime account, which is the biggest concern, is at 69.8%. It'd be nicer if it was at 66. I think we're getting closer to that as the months go on.
Mhm.
And then overall, we're at 64.4, which is better than the 66%. So overall, we're at or doing better than the percentage, the number of months that we're into the budget year.
Okay, very good. Any questions, Commissioner?
Yes, I have a question. Thank you for the report, and I'm happy that we're doing better than expected in most areas. I wanted to ask, in the event that we have to go through another COVID surge, we've already depleted 100% of our COVID-19 expenses. What is our plan B in that situation? If we were to go into another surge?
So are you asking for like overtime account, you mean?
I'm looking at the firefighting COVID-19 expense item, 192,000, which is 100% used.
Okay, I believe that was before the end of December. All of the overtime expenses related to COVID were, the comptroller put that into a separate account.
Uh-huh.
I believe it's still going on, but I'm not 100% sure. So I don't know really what would happen if the city would open up another account under COVID or not.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was trying to get at.
I'd have to ask the comptroller, unless the mayor would know, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we would probably end up having a new account and putting and obviously because we'd have to track the expenditures related to COVID for possible reimbursement and so forth.
Correct.
So it could be also that the CFO, if there's no gap in between this level of COVID and hopefully not, but an increase, we could probably still be considered the same pandemic. And we probably would leave those funds or leave those line items open.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Chief. Brings us to the Assistant Chief of Administration, Assistant Chief Conti. Oh, I'm sorry.
I did have another question. Chief, thank you for addressing the increases in absences. I was going to ask about that, but you sort of beat us to it. I did want to know, in the past, we used to get a definition of the codes. These reports don't show us what the codes mean. So I don't know if we want to include them in every report, or maybe if you could give us a list that we can keep on the side to compare these two.
So
yeah,
you
like
have,
the 00 is the one that made the most significant increase of
right, so you should have a copy of the Platoon budget report.
right.
At the very bottom of that has the explanation of the codes.
Oh, it does.
Yeah,
Couldn't find it.
like 00 is vacancy, 01, 02 is employee and family illness, and it goes on from there. Do you see it? I don't know if you can see, it looks like this.
Hold on, I'm on a different screen. What does it look like? All right. Okay, I'll look for it.
I mean, it should be in your packet.
You know what? I think it's cut off at the bottom. It says payroll codes, and there's nothing underneath it.
All right, I'll send you one. I'll send you one.
Okay.
Thank you.
You know, when we're done with this meeting, I'll send you one.
Okay, let's see. Okay, now Assistant Chief Conti.
Good afternoon, Mayor Rilling, Commissioner DeStrouge.
Good afternoon.
So we're still working on the ESO, our records management software, the upgrade. It's actually going quite well. We've migrated quite a bit of the information over. And according to the company, we're still ready for the initial go live date, which is the 15th of April. So we're just continuously migrating things over. We pretty much have a meeting weekly to bi-weekly, and we're just going through everything there. No issues as of yet. As far as the, yeah, it's going pretty well. I think the software is actually going to be quite a big upgrade. For the city communications, I just finalized the new radio template for our portable radios. So this is going to actually incorporate the new system for Westport and for Stanford. And we're actually had a meeting with Norcom so they can actually upgrade all of theirs to communicate with us on mutual aid packages, which is going to be finally, everybody seems to be staggering constantly. One department upgrades, then the next one, then the next one. So you're constantly catching up. So I think we're really close right now to actually getting everybody's current frequencies all together.
I see Fairfield and Westport combined dispatch, correct?
Yeah, they combined dispatch. So, but Westport went to the state system, so they changed their whole system. Stanford went to the state system, but they did a hybrid change. So we have to completely upgrade everything. And now Stanford can't, their system didn't talk to us. So we're figuring this all out. The only good thing is the common thread here is everybody's got Norcom. So we're all going through the same vendor,
Yeah.
which is good. And we're also working on top of that with King Industries to ensure that we can talk with them when we go on their scene. So
Good.
we think we've completely ironed that out, and we're ready to go for the upgrade. So we're gonna be scheduling that. That should be in the next week or so, which will be great. As for the building, Station One started. We started the 17th of February. Everything's going really well. Majority Construction is doing a great job. They've removed a lot of the old work, the poor work that was done, and they are installing the new showers. They're actually waiting for some inspections from the city inspectors right now, today and tomorrow. We went through finance with ARPA funding. They approved it unanimously last week. We're scheduled for the meeting next Tuesday, I believe, for the Common Council. Mayor, thank you very much for your support on that. It's well needed.
Yep.
The air quality there. Yeah, we thank you very much for that support. And as far as the station, it's moving along. I've talked, I just had a meeting with the architect and the builder yesterday. Assuming everything goes through next week with council, they're saying that we could be finished with the project within the next 2 months. And the biggest thing honestly has been some of the supply chain issues with like vanities and things like that, the little things that you wouldn't think,
Yeah.
But everything's going smoothly, and we should be really done with that station in a couple months.
Great.
Good. Is that it,
Any questions?
Commissioner?
No, just remind me, Station One is what location?
Broad River on New Canaan Avenue, 90 New Canaan Ave.
Thank you.
The previous construction team didn't do the job they were supposed to do, and actually, I think it was a rather poor job. So we brought in somebody else to correct it.
That's right. That's why we need the attorneys to get involved.
Chief Markowitz, Assistant Chief Markowitz, sorry.
Actually, that would
Oh,
be
they
me.
came. I'm sorry.
Sorry. Good
Oh.
afternoon, everybody.
Deputy Chief Markowitz later. Oh, boy.
So this past month, we had a staff meeting with all the chief officers, the deputy chiefs down on the line to discuss organizational status and goals, pass on some information to them, and got good feedback from the chiefs that are on the line. I also revised the SOP for multiple alarm fire response and for mutual aid. And in addition to that, revised the SOP specifying the duty of the deputy chief's driver or the deputy chief's aide. And these two SOPs, along with 3 that are currently under revision, are part of a package to improve fire ground safety and communications. So that's an ongoing effort, but we've had good response from them on that.
Yeah, it's critically important to constantly review your SOPs. Sometimes they're outdated, 15, 20 years old. When I used to do evaluations for the Commission on Accreditation for Law Enforcement, we'd go someplace and they'd have an SOP that 25, 30, 35, 40 years old is signed by a person who's not only retired, but they're dead. So and those things, if you keep looking at them, if you don't keep looking at them, they can be outdated rather quickly. So I'm glad you're doing this.
Yes, and like I said, this particular package of SOPs goes along with the improvements in the radios and the communications. So it's all it all blends together, but we've had good success with it so far.
Yep.
Also reviewed the 5 months performance evaluations for the 12 probationary firefighters that began work back in October, and happy to say that they are doing exceptionally well. They're off to a very good start, so that was good to see.
Good.
Excellent.
As for calls, we had 582 calls in February, averaging 20.8 per day average. We had 9 fires, 3 of those being building fires and 3 of them being vehicle fires. We had 38.
Which building, just quickly, was it 470 West Avenue last night or early this morning?
Well, we had two fires
Yeah,
yesterday.
one
We
on
did
Water
have
Street.
one. We do have one on West Avenue at the former Loman's Plaza yesterday,
Oh, that was the
the
building.
vacant that's there.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And then also at 123 Water Street last night, one of the newer buildings that's been put up on Water Street where the old Washington Village was.
Wow.
And that was a trash room fire, which was quickly extinguished, but caused quite a bit of smoke and water damage from the sprinkler head.
Okay.
As for last month, we had 22 motor vehicle accidents with injuries. We had 4 motor vehicle versus pedestrian and 8 elevator rescues. We went on 325 emergency medical responses. We also had 21 hazardous conditions, 18 public assist, 42 smoke scare good intent, and 117 fire alarms. Looking at the cumulative statistics so far for this year, we're at 1,283 incidents and a total of 2,007 runs. So that's already up 318 incidents from last year and up 544 runs. So as I touched on last month, calls are up considerably, both here in Norwalk and throughout the region. And just a concern looking forward, is the condition of the fleet, especially the spares, which are older, and some of the older frontline engines. So it
You're
just
talking about the
underlines the
spares.
need to stay on target.
When you're talking about the stairs, you're talking about the ladder trucks?
Yeah, the
Okay.
ladder trucks and the engines,
Yeah.
the spare engines as well. Also engine 3 and engine 5, which are frontline engines, but are our oldest frontline engines. So it just underlines the need to stay on target with our replacement program. Because the trucks are doing more calls than they were back when those replacement schedules were put in place. So we're really kind of pushing the boundary now with them, and we just want to make sure that those apparatus will be serviceable well into the future as the runs continue to increase. So just a thought on that.
I believe we funded you this year in a capital budget, right, Chief?
We put in for 2 engines this year. Don't know if it got approved or not.
What was the cost of those, the 2?
$1,350,000.
We might have given you 2, I'm not sure, but I'll know more tonight.
Okay.
Great.
The other thing I just want to add to what Ed was saying was that a typical order now could take as long as 2 years to get the apparatus built.
Wow.
And I'm sorry to say, there's been a 13% price increase since these numbers were even put together. So I'm worried that even that 1,350,000 is not going to be enough for 2 engines.
For
We'll have to wait. We'll have to wait and see.
For the 2023 capital budget, we gave you 1,350,000.
Okay, great.
And then you've got another 850 in the 25 budget. So you may
Yeah.
want to consider maybe at some point when you submit the new capital budget, moving that up to the 24, just so that if it's going to take that long.
Mayor, I think there was also in the capital request about 121 for the refurbishment of the frontline ladder truck at Station 2. Do you know if that stayed in or not?
Yep. Let me get another look here. Hold on.
That truck would then move down to Broad River, but would stay frontline for another 10 years. So we want to make sure that it's serviceable to do that. It was either 114 or 121. I don't recall which.
Yeah, 117,000.
117.
It's in there.
Very good. That's
Good.
great. Well, that's going to help quite a bit to
Thank
keep
you.
them on the road and in good shape.
Yeah, let me just verify that. I want to make sure that I don't set you wrong. Okay, and it looks like it stayed in. I don't have these. I thought I had the summary page here, but that's coming coming shortly.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Eventually the equipment that is no longer of use to us, what do we do to them? Do they go to salvage? Do they go to third world countries that have no equipment anywhere near what we have today. I'm thinking that Ukraine. I'm sure maybe Ukraine, will need some engines to reconstruct and to protect their properties.
Well, right now, typically the frontline apparatus will do 10 years as a spare once they come off frontline service. When they're no longer serviceable as spares, generally in the past, they've gone to auction. Whether some sort of special accommodation can be made, such as you mentioned, I guess we would have to talk to the city and see if that would be allowed.
Yeah, I think at some point, the federal government will be part of restoring the Ukraine to its previous status. And at that time, there probably will be a call out for special equipment of all kinds. And I think that that's the time that we may be able to arrange something, but we'll have to wait and see wait and see when this whole debacle over there is over.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
thanks.
Yes.
No, thank you.
Finishing up under my report, under notable incidents, we did have a structure fire at 172 Main Street back on February 28th. This was early morning fire, 2:25 a.m. it came in. And this was a house which is attached to the back of the commercial structure there on Main Street. Engine one pulled up, they had heavy smoke coming from the attic. They quickly got inside and brought a hose line up to the attic while the crew was also ventilated and then searched for any other occupants that might be inside, might have still been asleep. So the fire was contained to one bedroom and third floor attic, which was gutted. And thankfully everybody got out. They were actually out before we arrived. So that operation went well. And truck 2 and car 7 also responded to Westport for a mutual aid fire, one of their commercial buildings right downtown on the Post Road. And our crew laddered the roof with our ladder truck, went up and assisted Westport's crew with cutting away roofing material and exposing and extinguishing the fire there. I can take any questions for any of those reports.
I have none, Commissioner.
No additional questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Assistant Chief McCabe. Next, we have Fire Marshal. Got Fire Marshal Sawyer.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
For the month of February, we had 145 total inspections, 70 notifications, no pub eds. Plan reviews, we did 26, 8 liquor license inspections. We had a total of $1,670 in fees. We also had under investigations 8 fires, 3 code or hazardous conditions for an investigation total of 11. That is pretty much it.
Okay. Well done.
Thank you.
what happened.
And you're getting a new fire marshal today, I guess?
Yes, Jack Kelly. Yes, very, very happy to have it.
Did he, he just graduated from the school or?
No, he's still in. He's still
Okay.
He started with fire investigation.
Okay,
Probably over in 2 or 3 weeks, and he goes into the code portion of it.
okay,
So
very good.
Mayor, speaking of Jack Kelly, that's not going to happen today.
Okay,
But I just wanted to also mention that April, hopefully within the first couple weeks of April, we're going to have our big ceremony downstairs like we always do to swear in the new recruits.
Mhm.
And he'll be part of that. He'll be part of that anyway.
all right.
So
Okay, that works. Anything else, Fire Marshal Sawyer?
no, sir. You have any questions?
No, thank you.
Thank you.
None for me.
Thank you.
I've gotten some good comments about your work in the field. We're inspecting people's new businesses, et cetera.
Much
Oh,
appreciated.
Always.
Much appreciated.
All
There-
them new.
There are a whole bunch of them going on.
Yeah. Yeah, we put out a briefing. I can't remember the number, but I think it was during the
600.
pandemic, and like over 400 new businesses opened in Norwalk.
Mhm.
So that's quite an accomplishment.
No end in sight from what I can see.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay, emergency management, Mr. Luca.
Hey, good afternoon.
That-
Actually had a meeting with Eversource, I think about a week or so ago, and that will be the first of quarterly meetings going forward with them. Part was to discuss the ISO plan for load shedding, but I think they really want to create a more routine meeting calendar with the municipalities to discuss any kind of issues. And again, keep us updated on that load shedding. For the most part, summer shouldn't be as much of an issue as it will be during winter months.
Mhm.
But then we'll continue to communicate with them. Obviously, we had a few storms, which fortunately did miss us and didn't have an impact as far as power and any longer term events. So now that we're getting into spring, hopefully any future weather will come and go and the snow will melt relatively quickly. We are planning our combined open house with police, fire, DPW, EMS, tentatively late September, probably September 24th. Hopefully we'll be able to do that in person, assuming that the COVID numbers remain where they are, if not lower. So as always, we'll keep monitoring the numbers and work with the health department on that. And then probably looking ahead a little bit towards May or June, doing something with Public Works for the start of hurricane season, and then our usual messaging. So I think that's it.
Okay, sorry, you might have mentioned this. Did you get the email I sent you about the statewide emergency operation up in with Prospect?
I think so, yep.
Okay,
Yep. And I will both register for that.
okay,
And I did send it to Deanna. Actually, it's a new venue compared to when they were at Cromwell. So hopefully
Yeah.
it'll be a little bit different, a little bit nicer.
now with the Fairfield one was at Sherwood Island, is that correct? And then this is bigger, obviously.
Actually, this one is the annual one that used to be done up in Cromwell every year.
Okay,
And then they did take, I think, 2 years off for COVID. So again, hopefully it'll be about 400 or 500 people will be in attendance at that.
okay.
In
Any
one room.
questions, Commissioner?
No questions. Thank you.
Chief?
No,
Okay, now, Deputy Chief Markowitz.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
We completed our EMS recertifications that consisted of roughly 90 firefighters have been recertified for the next 2 years. We signed off 5 new engine drivers and 1 new ladder truck operator. We conducted rapid intervention team training for the entire department, which included removing a downed firefighter out of a 2nd-story window. I have attached a picture of that.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
And then I received information from our risk management coordinator, Craig Schmidt. In 2019, the department had $1.19 million in workers' comp totaling in workers' comp. 2020 was down to 606,000, and then in 2021 it was down to 330,000.
wow.
So it's gone from 1.19 down to $330,000. So I just wanted to pass that along to you.
No, that's good, and glad that Craig is taking notice of that.
Yeah,
We want to
Yeah.
keep an eye on trends because we find that in fire and police services, a lot of times it's a back injury when you're trying to lift something or, and so we base our training on that kind of, on those metrics so that we know exactly what the trends are and we can try to get on top of it. We bring in Kerma to help do some of that training.
yeah. So overall, it's gone down considerably. So hopefully the trend continues. I can take any questions if you have it, if you have any.
I don't, just a congratulations to all the firefighters for all of that.
Yes,
They're doing a great job.
Yeah.
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you.
So if I'm correct, that's the last report. There's no 8:30, no old business, no new business, no, oh, no, there's a correspondence. I see attached letter in correspondence, Chief.
yeah, just one, just one mention of a letter that a resident, Lori Brayton of 9 First Street, Sent an email to the fire marshal's office. The short of it is she had a flag that was all tangled up and looking for our assistance. Two of our inspectors, Dave Burrows and Brian Scully, went there to see if they could help her out. They actually dismantled the whole flagpole, changed the halyard, put a new flag up for her, put all back together again. And now we have Old Glory flying again, nice and proud, and she's very happy about that.
Very good.
Kudos to the fire marshal's office
Yes.
again.
Mhm.
You know, people obviously know the benefit, the good things that the fire department does, but these are little things that go above and beyond. That's always good to get out to the public and let people know those little personal touches, a little favor here and there.
Yes, yes,
Commissioner?
we're very glad to do that.
Yep. Commissioner?
No questions.
Yeah, we remember, well, Fire Marshal Sawyer left, didn't he? Oh, there he is. Didn't he shovel somebody's snow one day?
Oh, yeah, all the time. Yes.
Okay, well, unless there's anything else, I have nothing.
I do.
Okay, Commissioner.
I just wanted to, on behalf of the Fire Commission, to welcome and congratulate Commissioner Lopez on being appointed Commissioner of the Norwalk Police Department. So now let's make that public.
Yep. He's been appointed. It's interesting because I got a call on a Friday asking if I would consider him. And I said, absolutely. And I said, well, he'll call me on Monday to see if he is interested. The traffic authority was meeting at 4 o'clock. He called me around 3:15, told me he was interested, and I had him sworn in that minute. So,
Sorry about that.
yeah, so, yeah, that was good. Okay, and thank you for remembering that. And I know that I've got somebody hopefully lined up for the fire commissioner spot, because I know Commissioner Bentley
Great.
sent me that he's got issues that he's taking care of his wife and so forth. So he
Right,
stepped down, but I will find somebody very soon.
okay, great.
Okay, Commissioner Destruz,
Move to adjourn.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, it's 3:33 and we are adjourned.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Have a good one.
Thank you,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Hey, everybody.
Oh, by the way, you
Thank you.
did get both of those things. You got the 1.3 and you got the 117,000.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mayor.
Okay.